Player 2 has joined the game.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 373 of the Two Player Co-op Podcast. As always, I'm one of your hosts here, Kevin, along with my brother from my mother, Sean.
What up? 373. That's as good as I can do it.
How is that?
It's three,
four,
but
three,
together
three
it's
and seven
seven.
is three.
That's all
So
I can do.
What's up, seven?
I don't have 7 fingers.
What's up,
I
seven,
do
seven,
this.
seven?
Then
If-
it's wait, no.
If you
That's
were
still
in,
not, I can do this. It was still right because it's like VII, so it works in 2 ways.
Resident Evil, Biohazard. How
we doing?
I'm doing well. This is the
Looking
first,
good. Thanks, James.
Yes, thank you. If this is the first time you're ever seeing, hearing, or listening to us, this is the Two Player Co-op Podcast. We're just about every other week, unless it's the end of the year and
Just
things
about
happen and there's
every
nothing
other
to
week.
talk about. So it's been 3 weeks this time, but I promise we'll be back next week to do our Game of the Year episode. Get together to talk about what is going on in the world of video games. If you like that, I don't know what I'm saying. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, share it with your friends, family, and everyone in betwixt. If you only listen on audio services, that's cool too. Just give us a 5-star review or whatever your service allows. If you really like us, you can go to patreon.com/2playercoop, where we got a lot of different benefits for you people, but the most popular tier is the $5 producer tier,
Popular.
which also gives you the benefit of the $1 tier and the $3 tier. Those being, podcast goes live on YouTube one day early. You get a bonus episode every month, which we're going to record right after this. And you get to watch us record the show live on YouTube, as we are doing right now. Some of our patrons deserve shout-outs. Just like our patron saint, the man with the bar named after him, Mr. John Tinkley. Also, our affiliates, Derek Bamford, James Solar. Make sure you check out James Games and more on YouTube. And Mom. As well as our producers, Steve Appleton, Aunt Sue is back,
With a vengeance.
and Dustin Downs. Did you hear that thing
Yeah.
pop? I was just playing like with the air in there.
The air up there.
Underwear. Oh, it did it again.
You're going to like pop it and it's going to...
ASMR.
Can't do it again.
So, of course, now I can't do it. Been a few weeks since a rock and roll. Been a few weeks since we recorded. Christmas has come and gone. Another thing that has come and gone is both of our fantasy football seasons. I at least made it to the Guillotine Championship. However, I got screwed. Not really.
Not really.
I was just on the baddest of bad beats. I was up. This is week 17, right? Or no, this was 16.
16.
Yeah.
For some reason.
I was feeling pretty good. I was up by like 26 points or something going into, all he was going to have left was Josh Jacobs on Monday night. And I'm like, wow, I'm actually going to pull this off. A couple minutes later, I'm watching the bottom of the screen go over. This is how I found out. And I'm seeing the scores scroll and everything. And I'm like, oh, the Dolphins get another 7 points. What the heck happened there? Check my
Wait, how
score.
much were you up approximately before that?
I think it was up
30
more
something?
than that. It was 30, 35 or 36. And then all of a sudden I check and I'm like, oh, that's cool. Devon Achane just randomly, you're supposed to go down when the game's over. You get the first down, you go down. You don't run for a 50-yard touchdown to make you go over 100 yards, get 5 bonus points, get a 50-yard touchdown, and get bonus points
Yeah,
for
that was like
being
a
over
20-point play.
I think it was 18 from what I remember.
50 for the yardage. 5 for the yardage, 5 for the bonus points.
10,
6 for the touchdown, plus
and
bonus
2.
points for the length of the touchdown.
Yeah, so it was 18. It was an
18?
18-point play. I ended up losing. And then it was funny for a little bit because Sunday night into Monday, fantasy football's got the stupid projections. I wish we could have projections for our fantasy league. That would be hilarious.
Do we have final numbers?
I sent it in the Discord yesterday.
That was yesterday? I thought that was today we were talking about that.
Maybe it was. I don't remember.
Okay, I didn't see it.
Everything blurs together. But the projections were like, because I ended up at 142.31 or something like that. And he was projected to get to 142.32, like to literally beat me by 0.01 points. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. This sucks so bad. He's got Josh Jacobs. I'm at the Grizzlies game. I'm like, Sean's like, you're not going to watch? I'm like, hell no, I'm not watching. I'm going to the Grizzlies game. And I'm watching and Sean's like, ugh. He texts me whatever, it's something like that.
I think I texted you, welp.
And I was like, shit, okay. So then he had scored and gotten like 59 yards and scored and gone up by like a 1.5 or something. The rest of the game he does basically nothing.
Yeah, you only lost by what, 2.5?
2.3, I think.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you kidding me? Not only that, stupid Jamar Chase caught a garbage time touchdown from Burrow in that game. Like, it was just everything that went wrong could have gone wrong. Everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. I would have rather, like I said, been eliminated in the first week. And I've been the commissioner of this stupid thing. I got to make all the, and now I didn't get nothing out of it. And he wins $200, and it's freaking Taylor.
You never did send a witty text with like funny wordplay.
Nope, I didn't.
Not going to.
Because it was just going to be, this is fucking bullshit. Devon A-Chan. Jackass. But it was fun. It was fun. Also, speaking of fantasy, congratulations to Mr. John Tingley, who won our fantasy league. Guys,
running away with it too, right?
No, it was close.
Oh,
there was
did it
a
end up
bunch.
being close?
Look at the Discord.
Discord or Datcord?
That cord. I'm going to send out a poll, guys, if you want to come back. This year, we're going to do OpenCritic instead of Metacritic. Sean would have had a lot better. He still would have sucked because he still had a lot of games that didn't come out this year. But OpenCritic actually got scores for Hades too, which was a 90, I think. But Metacritic...
I still would have had 1-0 counting.
Exactly. So you wouldn't have won.
Yeah. But
what's so frustrating for me is I had 4 zeros.
Where are you? Oh, yeah. But yeah, but other than that,
My
95,
4 games,
94, 89, 81.
My 4 games were an 88 average, I think. So if I could have kept that going, which is probably not probable. Although if Hollow Knight...
Probably not probable.
If Hollow Knight stupid thing would have come out, I would have had a chance.
Is John the only one? No.
All of
John
James's
and
games came
Chris
out.
both had no drops.
And James.
Well, but I mean, James he didn't have to take any zeros, but one of his didn't come out.
Oh yeah, he had Spider-Man 2 DLC.
Yeah.
That's right. That's sad that I remember that. So yeah, congratulations to John Tingley. We're going to do it again this year, guys. I
think-
will send out a poll. Yes.
Just to submit a new rule. Keep it more or less the same.
However,
Drop your lowest 2. But I think you should get, for every... What am I trying to say?
90 and above, you get a bonus point or something.
Well, I was going to say, if you have 0 games, if you only have 1 game that didn't come out, that you didn't take a 0 for, I'll say, you get an extra half point on your average. And if you have 0 games that didn't come out, you get an extra point.
Mm-hmm.
Like a bonus for... Because he dropped a 67 and a 54, and second place dropped 2 zeros. And he still barely won. So like, he should get some bonus points for picking all games that actually came out. I think there should be bonus for that. Half of yours didn't
Unlike
come
me.
out.
But the half that did come out were freaking awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll do it again, guys. I'm going to create a poll, see what we want to do. I got to be honest, I'm going to have to... we're going to have to do that Discord call and draft around football this weekend because it's a good weekend of football.
I'm not that... other than like the Bills-Broncos game, there's not a lot of games that are doing it for me.
It's 3 days.
Chargers... I mean, I love playoff football.
Yeah.
But like Chargers-Texans, don't care.
I'm rooting
Ravens-Steelers,
Chargers,
don't
baby.
care. Rams and Vikings, kind of like them both.
I
so
do like
therefore,
them
I don't
both. I hate
care.
it, yeah.
Like, I'm just like, I don't know. But whatever.
Eagles, Packers, go Pack, go.
Oh, yeah.
And Hurts is still in protocol, right?
As of right now, yeah.
Could be interesting. I'm so torn because I love Saquon, but I hate friggin' Philly so much.
Watch the Vikings win it all, and Danny Dimes gets a Super Bowl ring.
Did you see? They signed him to the active roster.
Yeah.
He's wearing 13. So I guess somebody there is wearing 8. Oh, you know what? He was in college. He didn't wear 8. I think he was 18.
Is JJ 8?
9.
Yeah.
I hate the number 9. I know Breeze had it. Burrow has it. Carson Palmer had it back in the day. I just hate the way the number 9 looks for a quarterback. I don't know what it is.
Not cement. I don't know. Yeah, what?
And 6 too. I guess it's just the curviness. I don't know. 7 looks cool. 8 is awesome. 4, yeah.
We need to do a tiers ranking of numbers.
We could do it. And of course, 10 is awesome because Eli. Nintendo year in review. Do you have yours?
I looked at it. I could probably pull it up again quickly.
Yeah, pull it up again quickly.
Do you have a link?
No.
To the
because I just screenshot.
It's just called Nintendo Year in Review.
Yeah, I think. Let me check.
I'm sure I can find it here. Yeah, Switch Year in Review.
Switch Year in Review.
It was pretty underwhelming.
Mine was pretty funny, which is really why I want to cover it. Just because my kids screw up my stuff like they used to screw up my PlayStation Year in Review.
That sounded like you said urine review.
Urine review. Urine presentation tool. Anus. Urine anus. Get it? I don't know. You're an anus. Urine and butts.
Oh, come on. Why do I have to verify?
I kicked off, meaning not me, but my Switch. See, I think the whole having different user accounts on the Switch means nothing, apparently. Because it says I kicked off 2024 playing on January 2nd by playing, of course, Fortnite on my Switch.
I'm almost there. Oh, get started. It was waiting on me. Welcome to your blah, blah, blah. You kicked off 2024 with...
In May.
May 24.
Really?
Paper Mario.
I played...
Solid start.
A solid start 5 months late.
Halfway through the year.
I played, apparently, now again, this is a lot of this is my kids, and it's just funny when you go through this. Apparently, I played 21 games for 244 hours.
I played 2 games for
Both Mario
39
RPGs.
hours. Paper Mario and Mario and Luigi. That's
what was
all I played.
Paper Mario was around, 20 hours, I think, give or take?
Probably, yeah.
Brothership was
25 maybe, because I did a lot of bonus stuff. I would say,
okay.
Maybe it'll tell me. I'm guessing it's about 25 and 14.
Oh,
was
duh.
probably
There
my
we go.
split. Since I've only got 2 games, it'll tell me exactly how long I played both of them.
Well, this is crazy because I've got mine. So my most played games in 2024, number 3, Paper Mario, 34 hours.
Yeah, number 1 for me was Paper Mario. 34, you said? I was only 27. And then 12 for Brothership.
See, I do think Casey tried it a little bit.
You said
not that
somebody.
much.
Yeah, maybe it was
Yeah.
Casey.
Wait,
but
and then
not for 7 hours.
Number 2 for me, this was basically, I think this was literally all at the beach. Super Smash Bros. 52 hours.
Wow.
Number 1, Mario and Luigi trademark Brothership. 52 hours I spent on that joker.
I'm sorry. That's too long. That game doesn't need to be that long. Yeah, mine was 12.
How much were you on
12 for Brothership.
So you didn't beat it.
No, I think I just beat the second world.
Okay.
Or whatever. Yeah, and that's
34 hours for
12
Paper Mario.
and 27.
My top genre is action. 37%, 20% role playing. The only games that I played on my Switch other than I wonder how they count for games, how they count Switch Online. Does
Probably Switch
playing
Online just counts.
or Game Boy Advance counts and then NES counts?
So mine is 50% role playing, 50% action. So I don't know which one they consider role playing and which one they consider action. Actually, that's not even right. It should be.
No,
that's like
right.
going by, but not by hours. They're splitting that. If it's 50-50,
Oh.
they're looking at this game and this game.
Yeah.
So therefore 50-50.
This is an RPG.
Not the amount of time.
This game is an action game.
So I don't know which one they consider role playing and which one they consider action. But
That is weird. 20% for me was role playing, 20% party. Oh, I wonder which is included. 20% party, 13% fighting. So I guess Smash probably is fighting. It's not.
it's not.
Racing, 6%. Character-driven, 4%. What character-driven game?
What's that thing? Animal Crossing or something?
Month by month? What are these? Hours? Yeah. October was my busiest month, of course. That is
Mine
when
was May.
we were at the
19
beach.
hours.
102 hours at the beach. Now they did, because they did also play Mario Party, the old one. And then November I had 54 hours. That was Brothership.
I played 19 in May, 7 in June, and then 12 in November. And that was it.
Month by month is hilarious too. January, played for 21 hours, 3 games, Fortnite was my number one with 12 hours played. Obviously, it was not me. It wasn't me.
It was me. Yeah, mine was May, 19 hours.
Okay,
8
you've
days.
only got like 2 months.
May, June, November.
February, I'll run through this. February, 2 hours played. 1 game for 2 hours over 2 days. Super Mario Wonder. That was not us. So that was Casey did try that. I remember that. And then
That's weird that was 2023.
yeah, 23 was ridiculous.
24 really flew by. In hindsight, like I feel like Mario Wonder came out 6 months ago.
Yeah,
When did it come out? Like October? It was pretty late. In
October
23.
23. Yeah.
Wow.
And then in May, played 2 games over 6 days. Paper Mario. 13 hours in May. I played 21 hours of Paper Mario in June. That sounds right. That makes sense. Oh, yeah. So there, it must be trying it. So July, I played 2 games on 2 days for 1 hour. Game Boy Advance was my most played. That's when that's
Metroid?
I did try Metroid a little bit. I don't remember. At some point, I did go back and play the first Mario Party on GBA.
Oh, that was probably...
And I had a lot
Mario
of fun
and
with
Luigi.
that. Huh?
Isn't that Mario and Luigi? Didn't you?
Yeah, that's what I meant. What did I say?
I don't know. Metroid?
No, but I said Mario something.
No, I don't know.
I might have said Brothership. I don't know. August apparently played the NES for 2 hours. September played the NES for 2 hours. October, Smash, 50 hours.
Wow.
That's the
I'm
beach.
surprised Mario Party isn't showing up on there more for
I
the
know.
beach.
My gaming style, action, role playing, blah, blah, blah. Most played month. And then that's it.
Pick your favorite game of 2024. I've only got 2 to pick.
I know which one you're picking. So that was our Nintendo year in review. Not much to talk about there. It'll be interesting to see what our Switch 2 year in review looks like next year.
Meaning 2026.
No. I mean this year, when we
Yeah.
talk about it next year.
Twuck.
Sean.
You all.
Oh, so we had Christmas.
We did.
Sean got a game for Christmas. He kind of got another one, and then I got it. And then he also got it after the fact. But, Sean. Okay, so you said Brothership, you've beaten the second world. You don't really care about it.
I don't know if I'll go back at this point.
I get it. It's definitely a long game, but...
I think if I didn't know how long it was, but like, I've got a good enough idea because as much as I've played, which was 12 hours, I feel like I should be more than halfway through.
Yeah.
I feel like 12 hours, I should be 75% of the way through for a game like that. But it did get better, but I don't know. It wasn't enough to keep me engrossed.
Hooked on phonics worked for you. So, Sean, you did get another game. You did get a game for Christmas.
I had a few games.
Oh, yeah, because you got... Oh, yeah, you want to yell about one of them. All right. What have you been playing, Sean?
All right. Well, before we get to that, I've got some banter of the witty variety.
Oh.
So one morning, I woke up. I was awake. It was too early. I didn't want to be awake yet. But then, okay, do you feel this ever? When you wake up, but you're not like awake, but your eyes are still closed. You're not really moving, but you're awake yet.
I say a little prayer for you.
And the best way I can describe it is a fog.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I'm in a fog. And I'm like, if I get back to sleep soon, I'll be good. But once that fog clears, like I might not move a muscle. I might not open my eyes. But there's a change in feeling from like, oh God, I better get back to sleep. And then eventually it like clears and I'm like, that's it. I'm awake. Like, do you get that sensation at all?
I think it is basically what you're saying for me, I think is more once you realize you're awake. Once you realize you're awake.
Mine is almost a like physiological, like I can tell it's not a mental thing. It's not, oh God, I'm awake. Oh crap. No, it's like, oh God, I'm awake. I gotta hope I get back to sleep real soon. And then all of a sudden it feels like a fog. I don't know how to describe it. But anyways, that fog cleared and I'm just like, oh, well, I'm not getting back to sleep.
When was this?
I don't know. Within the last week or so. And I didn't want to get out of bed. It was cold. I'm like, "Oh, whatever. I'll just mess around on my phone." And then I sneezed. And I'm like, "Oh, crap, I'm going to wake up Brittany." That is all to say, is it possible to sneeze in your sleep? Because it seems like if it is, I would have done it at some point.
Well, it also seems like...
That's like a function that your brain turns off while you're asleep. Like the fact that it was quiet, and as far as Brittany knew, I was asleep, and then all of a sudden she hears a sneeze. I'm like, okay, well, she knows I'm awake now, because you can't sneeze in your sleep, I don't think.
I've never thought about that, but no,
I've never thought about it either until that happened. I'm like, crap. I'm like, well, she doesn't necessarily know that I'm awake. I'm like, wait, she probably does, because you can't. It's like keeping your eyes open when you sneeze. It's like that kind of thing. I don't think you can sneeze in your sleep. There's no reason like your nose couldn't feel a little
People
tickle.
definitely cough in their sleep. Like if Jess is sick, and I'm not talking snoring, but I'm like if she's sick.
But even that,
it's like,
but I feel like a cough is more. What's the word?
Reflexive.
Well, less
involuntary.
Reflexive. I feel like it's more voluntary. I feel like a sneeze, like there's nothing you can do about it.
Well, but that's what makes me think. Should we even? But that's what I was going to say. If we don't sneeze at all during the night, there's no way we've gone our entire lives and never had
a tickle in your nose while you're asleep. That's what I'm saying. So I wonder if your brain just like turns that off.
But then why can't we turn it off right now? When you get into your sneezing fits and you're doing 25 in a row.
I don't know.
You haven't done that in a while, at least around me.
I did it on the way home from work today.
That's
Thank you very
when
much.
you're driving.
Yes, it's not fun. Oh, and then the other thing I was going to talk about, just topic of conversation. Do you have any New Year's resolutions?
Not resolution. My thing is this stupid shoulder. I can't lift weights for another 3 months. He said probably, maybe 4. I'm like, that
still
sucks. Yeah.
Dang.
Like 6 months post surgery. So that sucks because I had been losing weight and I was starting to work out. And it was, of course, all this happens right after we buy that stupid Smith machine. And now it's just sitting there.
Yeah. Hey, Syracuse actually won a game.
But it's just really just to get physically healthy again. You know, like to get this shoulder healthy, and then once the shoulder is healthy, to get the body right. Get it right, get it tight, as Bubba Sparks would say. That's really all it is for me. Yeah. You clearly have something.
I mean, kind of. So I've started Pelotoning again. Pelotonics.
You're on a roll today with the dad jokes, I must say.
My goal...
Oh, you want to bike like 500 miles or something? 1,000? I don't know how much a bike ride is.
2,000.
Okay.
And that's pushing it. I don't know if I can do that, but like I was originally going to say 1,000 because I rode January 1st. I'm like, I got to just do it. And it was a very leisurely, so I don't end up in the hospital again. I'm like, I'm not going to push it. I just want to just ride and whatever. And I've done 3 rides so far. They've all been 45 minutes. And then they've all been, I'm creeping up every time without necessarily trying to. It was like 12 and then 13, and then the last one was closer to 14.
Miles
in 45 minutes. And that's not really pushing at all. That's just riding while I'm like watching something. Like I watched Raw yesterday on Netflix on my Peloton and just rode. The last time before that, I was watching Red Zone on my Peloton. Like it's a lot easier now because I used to have to bring my iPad and try to balance it on the thing. Like
okay, well that's what
so
I was
now I just watch it on the screen. Which
but
is
you don't
so
have to.
nice.
So do you pay? Do you pay for the monthly thing?
I think we're still currently paying because Brittany had been using it. I haven't taken a class in a long time. I usually just free ride.
That's what I'm going to do because we did cancel it or we're going to because it's like
and you can do all that without paying. I think paying just gets you the classes.
Yeah, I'm like, why did I not know this? I thought like for it to even like unlock,
it won't turn on.
Yeah, exactly. But that is one thing I do need to do actually because I've said that before. Like, yeah, I can't lift weights. I can go on my lunch break and just go down there and ride for a half hour.
Well, and that's why I miss working remote because when I used to work remote, I rode almost every day. Now I'm like, I can easily ride on the weekends. I forced myself to ride last night, which I I don't want to do it Monday through Friday, but I'm going to have to. So as of yesterday, that's January 6th, I had done a ride every other day on average. I was basically averaging 6 miles a day, because by January 6th, I was at 36 miles. So 6 miles a day, even if I kept that up through the whole year, that's over 2,000. But like, I got to keep that up.
But not
for
by
the
a lot.
whole year. Yeah, not by much. And that's assuming I can keep up with riding every other day on average. And I was originally going to say 1,000, and then I did the math out. I'm like, I should be able to do that easy. Plus, I figured the more I keep doing
the better you'll be.
the better
easier
I'll
it is to go
get.
longer.
So I'll get more miles. Yeah, so that's my goal, is to ride 2,000 miles. But my resolution is more just ride more. That's my stretch goal. Also trying to drink more water. And then I'm also trying to just like...
I don't drink enough water.
I weighed in on January 1st. And I'm like, that's going to be bad. And it wasn't as bad as I was expecting. But I'm like, I haven't done anything exercise related. Like, I haven't gone out of my way to exercise in a while. And I didn't eat very well. So I'm like, the fact that I'm only up 10 to 15 pounds from where...
So what are you, like 170?
183 point something.
Yeah.
I'd like to get back to like 175-ish. But I'm like, I haven't done anything, and I've been eating like crap. So I'm like, whatever I've been, I'm basically counting calories, but not really limiting myself. But every time I eat or drink something, I keep a rough count in my head just to keep me from like going way overboard.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that was doing enough to where I didn't lose that much ground. So I'm like, I shouldn't have to make that much of a difference to get it back. So now I'm just like trying to just do little things. Like when I go to Starbucks in the morning, I get a tall instead of a grande. I'm just like trying to make little slices wherever I can.
One less scoop of ice cream.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Down to 7 instead of 8.
Yeah.
Funny. But yeah, I guess that's...
You know
my
what I
resolution.
have always wondered, though? And I thought about this when I was watching football yesterday, or the day before, whatever it was, and this Joey Bosa commercial comes on for like what's it called? Protein drinks and stuff. Protein shakes and stuff. Nick Bosa. I always forget who's who. The dude's running around and he's just jacked, like 0% body fat. And I was like, it is weird that like he's just a person who works really hard. Like he could look like me, and I could look like, in theory, I could look like him. Now it's his job to be that, so he can go kill the quarterback.
Yeah.
But like, it's not like you and I couldn't look like that.
I don't know that I could.
Well, your build is different than mine.
Yeah. I think I looked into this whole thing. Not exothermic. Or ectothermic. Ectomorph.
I was going to say thermic. What are we talking about temperatures?
There's like ectomorph, endomorph, and mesomorph.
Xenomorphs.
Xenomorphs. So mesomorph just means you're in the middle. Ectomorph means you're not really going to gain weight. It's easy to lose weight, but it's hard to gain muscle. Like you kind of just burn off everything you eat. Endomorph, it's easy to get fat, but it's also easier to put muscle on.
Well, that's like I got up to 215, and then I got down to
I think you're probably
167.
mesomorph. I don't think you're an endomorph, but you're probably like what is it? Meso.
Xeno.
Xenomorph. I think I'm an ectomorph. I feel like I just can't put on mass.
Yeah.
Fat or muscle.
But I also wonder if it's
Like, there's no way I could look like Joey Bosa. The best I could hope for is like John Morant. Like we're both about 6'2" and 180.
Cut. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I'm never gonna get huge.
No, I think best I could ever hope for would be, and this is not me at all, but like what Desmond Bain looks like right now.
I mean, I guess. Yeah.
But I'm saying he's not as
there's short little arms.
He's not as jacked as he was last year.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And I've got like a short torso, which is weird. I don't know. Or no, I got a long torso. I got short legs. So I don't know if that factors in.
I don't know.
I don't know what we're talking about with xenomorphs.
Oh, gosh. And then, so Brittany and I went to, we took a trip down to Alabama. We went to...
Oh, I didn't even know where you guys went.
Yeah, where did we go? I can't remember the name. I gotta look it up. Where all the rocket stuff is.
Oh God, Jess has gone there on field trips with the school.
Huntsville, Alabama. Did this like thing at the. There's like a rocket I don't know what they call it. National Space
NRA, the National Rocket Association. See, I'm on a roll too. Oh boy,
I choked on my spit.
I choked on my spit.
They have like a museum and stuff, and it's all about like rockets, space rockets and stuff. But the night we got there, we went to this thing at the Planetarium. It was like cocktails and cosmos, or cosmos and cocktails, something. I don't know. And then the next day we just went and did like the museum proper. Yeah. Anyways, we went to a planetarium, I think for the first time since like Wiley. Like, I don't know when the last time I was in a planetarium was. They've come a long way.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if they were ever projectors back then or if it was more back. I don't know what you even were looking at other than
I can barely remember.
But like, I remember just being very washed out and it's like you can see stars.
Yeah.
This was like, what do you call it? Like a IMAX theater, but like over your head, like a dome.
And we went to one. The funny thing you say that, we went to one. I can't remember if it was when we went to LA or when we went to NYC, but we went to one when we were just like, this is the day we're going to do these things. And that was one. It was probably New York when we went to one of the museums.
Yeah.
And it was like, I know exactly what you're talking about. It was so freaking cool.
It was awesome. And like, they do different like themes. They do it every Friday down there. And the one they were doing when we were there, it was just like Alabama winter sky or something like that. And so the girl that was like running it, she like turned it on. She's like, basically, you're going to see what you would see outside. And she turns it on. Sure enough, I'm like, oh yeah, there's the moon. That's exactly. It was like a half moon. There's a planet right next to it. Like, I literally just saw all that. And she's like, it's not too impressive. That's because of a little thing called light pollution. Like, if you were out in the middle of nowhere, here's what you would see. And then she made it so you can see like all the stars. And all of a sudden, I'm like, oh my God. I don't think I've seen the night sky look like that. All of a sudden, I got transported back to Watertown. And I remember, like, I guess we lived in the middle of nowhere, but not
really.
Really?
Yeah.
It wasn't that much more the middle of nowhere than where we live now. At least I thought. But, like, when I saw that, I'm like, I remember the night sky looking like this when I was a kid. I remember taking Dad's binoculars out there and just
everything where we lived was more spread out, is what I would say. Yeah.
And it was just such a weird feeling. I'm like, I kind of forgot what the night sky used to look like. Because now every time I pick up the girls, like we're leaving my parent, because it's always dark at like 5 o'clock now. And you look up and you see the moon and you might see a couple things. I'm like, okay, well, those are clearly planets. But like, where are all the stars?
Yeah.
And it's so weird to think, I'm just like, I haven't seen the night sky like this. I probably did in Connecticut, but even where I was in Connecticut, there's all sorts of industry and stuff, so I feel like there's lights and crap everywhere, but like I don't think I've seen the night sky look like that since Watertown, and it was such a trip. But,
that is weird.
And then the next morning we got breakfast and I sit down and get a couple bites. I'm like, oh God, my nose is running.
Bloody nose. Nice.
I'm like, is my nose bleeding? She's like, I can't really tell. I'm like, I'm using a red napkin. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's also more red on it. And I look and it's on my fingers. I'm like, oh God. I'm like, it's just like, it's like nonstop.
This was me at the Grizzlies game.
And it's just coming out. I'm like, what do I wipe? And it's
mine was
like
a
what is
faucet.
happening right now? So I had to take hers. I'm like, I don't know what to do right now. She's like, I'm like, I'm just going to go back to the room. So I'm trying not to make a big deal. I don't want to walk out like,
oh my God.
Did I tell you what happened to me like holding the napkins? I went back to the room. I'm like, the napkins are like covered in blood. I've got like blood on the towels. I'm like, what is happening? But, and I didn't do any. Now I've been sick and my nose, my throat have been, dry as crap when I wake up in the morning. And it was that morning. But like, I had woken up, showered, gotten ready, no problem. Sat down for breakfast. Wasn't doing anything, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, it sucked.
Did I tell you what happened to me at the Grizzlies game?
No, I don't think so.
Oh my God, the one time, so it was before. Oh my God, yeah, our dad had a heart attack. By the way.
Okay, so not that recent.
No, so it was before that. He had a heart attack like a month ago. He's okay. The scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. But it was a couple weeks before that. What is wrong with you? Hot?
Do you ever? When you're drinking your your Ember, and you get down to the last little bit, and
if you let it sit
boiling
there too
water,
long, you're screwed. Yep,
it's so hot at the bottom.
It's so hot at the bottom when it hits your lips. The So yeah, we went to the Grizzlies game. It was me, Noah, Nick, and my dad, and we're like at the beginning of the second quarter, and the boys just got back from getting drinks or whatever, and I'm cold, my nose is running, so I'm like, oh god, it's so annoying. And I'm wiping my nose, and then I look down, and there's just red on my finger, like.
It's weird how there's something so embarrassing about a nosebleed. Like, I was just like mortified. I'm like, oh my god.
Well,
like,
because it's associated with being
like
a nose
picking
picker.
your nose. Yeah, I'm just like, I wasn't doing anything. I was just sitting there.
But that's why it's embarrassing, because you weren't.
guess,
And that
yeah.
was me. I'm like, I didn't even pick my nose. This is so. I was like, this is so friggin' annoying. What am I gonna? I'm like, Nick, can I have a one of your napkins? My nose is bleeding. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, I know. And I'm like, okay. I'm kind of like looking around, like this is gonna stop, and I take it out, and it's just. I'm like, okay, well, all right, I gotta go. So I'm just like walking like this to the bathroom, and luckily when you're in there, it's kind of dark, so nobody there could see me. And then there wasn't a lot of people out in the lobby when I went to go to the bathroom. There was one person in there, and he definitely saw me, and I kept going like. Because I was like, I have to like drink my blood or something, or it's going to be all over my hand. I'm going to look like I just murdered somebody.
It's blood.
So I get into a stall. I look down, and I've dropped like one giant drop of blood. Just, I'm like, oh god. I'm in there for like 10 minutes, just sitting on the toilet with so much toilet paper I've used up my nose. It's finally starting to stop. I'm sitting in the stall. And all of a sudden, I hear a familiar voice go, hey. And I look up, and there's Dad looking at me through the spot between the door and the side. He's like, hey. And I was like, oh, my God. Now, by this point, I decided, well, if I'm in here, I might as well try to poop. So I was indisposed.
When
I
in
wasn't
Rome.
just sitting there. I was like, Dad. I was like, I'm okay. It's stopping. Just leave me alone. So yeah, we've both had nosebleed, but that's what it was for me, because mine had started bleeding like the day before that or the day after. Also, I can't remember, and I didn't pick my nose either. It was just you're just sitting there. But yeah, it's because it's just been it was so dry then.
Yeah.
Because I think it was when it had finally started to get cold, so the heat was really on in here and everything. I think that's what it must have been. But yeah, so trust me, I know.
Good times.
Good times. Now I feel like my nose is going to be bleeding.
All right. So what have I been playing? Well, so for Christmas, I got Silent Hill 2, Metal Gear Solid Collection, whatever it's called. Yep. And Marvel vs. Capcom.
Eventually.
Which I didn't ask for. Shout out to Aunt Sue. Kevin did ask for it. Didn't get it.
Sean
because Aunt Sue is a little clueless. Yes, the very Aunt Sue from this podcast. She bought a bunch of stuff for Kevin and I. Not a bunch of stuff, but stuff for Kevin and I. Couldn't remember who she bought what for. Basically wrapped Kevin's present, gave it to me. And then Kevin just took it upon himself to say, yoink, that was supposed to be mine.
I was like, that's mine, I'm taking it. It reminds me of like when they're at the beginning of Christmas Vacation, and like I think the old lady has like she wrapped like
the cat,
but also there was like the Jello mold or something. Yeah. No offense, answer.
But then so Kevin ended up buying it for me anyway. I have not played it yet. I played Metal Gear a little bit. We'll get into that in a little bit. And I played Silent Hill a little bit. Silent Hill seems pretty cool so far. I didn't really know what to expect, but it's like, I don't want to say it's Resident Evil outside, but it kind of is. You're like in a little town area, and you've got like a map of the town. Like there's all these streets and like buildings and stuff. But like they basically say, this is blocked off. This is blocked off. Like think of The Last of Us. There's a lot of just like barricades and tarps to where they're like, all right, you can't go that way. You can't go that way. You can't go that way. So you're somewhat limited in where you can go. All I've seen so far are weird little like blob. They almost look like the molded from Resident Evil 7. They're just like walking blob looking things. And I've got a wood, like a 2x4 with like a nail in it or nails or something. And just bap, 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 bap. And I keep thinking it's going to break, and it hasn't yet. So I assumed it doesn't. I don't know if anybody besides James is in the chat, if anybody knows about Silent Hill. I'm through the first area, first part, whatever. There's a part with a jukebox. I did that, and now I have to go to like some park. That was where I stopped. I haven't gone back. I like it, but like I just haven't really played it much. I tried playing Metal Gear Solid Collection. I got to look up my text to Kevin because that has all my thoughts in it.
It's
I bought it.
It's multiple texts.
I asked for it because of the patch where they let you like fix the controls,
quote unquote.
That was a lot less helpful than I thought it would be. All you're doing is remapping the buttons, and I feel like the issues go far beyond this button does this when really it should be this button. The whole control scheme is so weird. I'm trying to think back. I think circle punches, which is weird.
Yeah. Should be square.
Triangle is like action. X crouches. Square shoots. But in order to shoot, you could just shoot, but good luck with that. Right. R1, I think, goes to first person.
Yeah.
But good for you, because you can't do anything until you take your gun out. So you have to hit R1 to go to first person, L1 to actually pull your gun out, and then square to shoot. I'm like, this is so... Why does there need to be that in-between step? Because I know all praise Hideo Kojima. I'm sure he had a plan, but like...
No.
This is so messed up.
We didn't know what we were doing.
And then there's... From what I remember, and I'm putting a lot of this on myself because anytime I play it, I want to do the dog tags. I looked up the platinum. I'm not getting the platinum.
Yeah, no.
But like, I thought you could like hold them up, and then you like walk around them, and you keep your gun out. There's a button... I don't remember what. Square shoot. There's some button you can push that supposedly like locks on or something. And I thought there was a way you could like, go first person. You got to run up to them.
Mm-hmm. Get behind them. Freeze.
Get close enough to them. Then work through the buttons in your mind. Say, okay, now I got to hit R1, go to first person. All right, then I got to pull L1 to get my gun out. But I don't want to hit square because I don't want to actually shoot him. I just want to pull the gun out.
But you don't have to hold them up in first person, right?
Maybe you don't. I don't know.
No, I don't think you do.
But then I thought there's a way. So now you got to let go of R1, so you're out of first person. But I think you keep holding L1 so your gun's out.
So it's drawn, yeah.
But then he just runs around like this. I thought there's like a lock-on thing where
like a strafe, yeah.
Yeah, but I couldn't figure that out. So then I got to get in front of him, face him, go back to first person, make sure I've got my gun out. And if I don't do that quick enough, he decides to shoot me. I couldn't do it. I was struggling hardcore. I got to Olga, which isn't very far. I barely beat her.
Oh, you didn't even get to Raiden? Or you did? Okay.
No, I didn't. I beat Olga, and I was like, I'm good. That's enough. I'm trying to, like, hide behind the boxes.
Yep.
And then she throws her grenade, and I want to run away. And again, shame on me. It's my fault. Whatever. But I forget to hit X again to stand up. So he's crouching. So if I try to run away, he takes, like, 10 seconds to get down onto his belly. I'm like, no, stand up. And then he takes another 10 seconds to stand back up. And by then the grenade blows up. Like, I wish you could do the little crouch walk thing. That would help. That would be huge.
It's going to be in Delta.
Yep. Oh, yeah, because that's not in 3 either. Right? And just like, she's shooting me. And again, I'm having the issues. I'm like, I got to run over here, find her in first person, then pull out my gun, then pull the trigger. Like,
with that fight, you have to go first.
There's just so many button presses that it seems ridiculous.
Did you try 3?
No, because that was the one I tried last time. And I'm like, let me at least try 2.
Because you like 2 better. In your mind.
I think so, yeah. I think everything... Oh! When they're down... I want to like pick them up and drag them to throw them in a locker or hide them or whatever. And I couldn't do it. I had to look it up online. And it's like push square, I think. Or maybe it's circle. I don't remember. I'm like, he's not doing it. And then I eventually found out you have to hit L2 or R2 or whatever to like, when you bring up your little menu item thing, go to nothing. So you don't have anything equipped.
Okay.
Then you can do it. Not just if my gun is not out. I'm not holding L1 to have my gun out.
No.
I'm not doing it.
Right.
But I technically have it equipped. You can't pick somebody up and drag them if your gun is equipped. So I need to hit R2 to like go to nothing, and then it will let me drag them. I don't understand. Olga, keep accidentally crouching, blah, blah, blah. Oh, the left stick aims in first person. Every time I go to first person, I'm trying to aim with the right stick, and it doesn't do anything. So
Can you not change that?
No. And so I'm like running, and then I pull out I go to first person, but I'm still kind of hitting the left stick. So every time I pull out I don't pull it out, but I go to first person, I'm like, and I'm looking down at the ground because I'm still holding forward to run up to him. And then first person, where are they? Like, oh my God. Again, back to the Olga fight. I would shoot her. And this, I think I eventually figured this out. And again, maybe this is more of a me problem. R1 to go first person, L1 to pull your gun out, square to shoot. And unless you're going, it's like, you have to, oh no, L3, I've got it right there. L3 is what readies your gun.
I don't remember that.
I think so. I put L3, maybe it's L1, I don't know. But anyways, like, if you only shoot once,
he's going to put it
you
down.
put your gun away, even if I haven't touched R1 or L1, like I haven't done anything different. But if you don't shoot again right away, he's putting the gun away. And you got to hit the button again and get him to pull the gun back out. So I gave up. I eventually tried Metal Gear Solid 1 because I'm like, I don't need to worry about first person. And I got to Ocelot. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, I can't do this.
Did you keep shooting the Baker?
Well, I kept trying to shoot him. And it's just like, I'm running. It's like a cartoon. We're just like running around the room, and I can't catch up to him.
But then you got to reverse.
And then I did that, but then it's like, no, and then I reverse, and then, he turns around. Like, right. I can't. I eventually would like get one shot off on him, and it goes, it did like 2% damage. I'm like, I don't feel like doing this whole, like, this is going to take forever. And I think I stopped there. So I think I'm kind of done with the game. And then, I haven't played Marvel vs. Capcom yet. But I did get Quest 3S.
Oh, yeah.
I'm loving this thing. Hands down better than PSVR 2. But that's more just because of what it is. Like, PSVR 2 is great for just gaming, but it's kind of a pain because you're always tethered. You have to turn on the PlayStation, put on, like, it just seems like so many steps. The Quest, I just put on, I hit the power button, and I'm in. And it's not like it's the Apple one, but like it's got like the pass through.
Okay.
So it's like PSVR 2, but in color. Like I can check my phone, I can like read texts, I can text people, whatever. And it's just cool. Like I can be watching YouTube. I've got like YouTube up over here. I've got a browser up over here. I've got like, it's just a cool, I wouldn't say productivity because I'm not being productive, but you could be.
You could be productive in it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it came with Batman. I played that a bit. It's pretty fun. There's a Quest Plus, which is like PS Plus. I've got it free for 3 months, but I'll probably keep it. With it, I was able to get Asgard's Wrath 2 for free. That's a lot of fun, but I'm very confused. I feel like I don't really know how the game works. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, I just keep fumbling my way through menus, and I'm like, okay, here's a quest, and then it puts a marker. I'm like, I'm just going to follow that, but I have no idea what's going on. But the fighting is fun. It's a fun game for sure. Also with Quest Plus, I got not so you think.
You think you?
I Expect You to Die. The first one I played was I Expect You to Die 2. And it's like a James Bond kind of game where, like, for the most part, you don't move. Like, in every level, you're kind of seated. But in-game, they make it so you've got telekinetic powers. Because that's the only way you can make it work. They never really explain it. They're like, you have telekinetic powers. So if I'm, like, in this chair, I'm like, oh, I bet if I could get that cup of soda over there, maybe I could throw it on that control panel and short circuit it so I can pull it over here and then, yes, okay, that turned that off. So now I can reach over here and grab the, it's just like all these like James Bond, Mission Impossible kind of like scenarios. It is so fun. It's like, to me, it's like the best use of VR. Like all the games where you're like walking around, I'm like, it's VR, but I keep seeing Golf Plus. James, do you have a Quest?
Is it golf or mini golf?
I think it's golf.
Ooh.
all the games where you're like Batman, like Asgard, the games where you're walking around, even Resident Evil, like it's cool, but it's like virtual reality, but then you're not moving, but you are in the game, so it kind of just takes you out of it because you're still just move with the stick.
And that's why people get motion sick. Yeah.
Right, yeah. And so I'm like, it's VR, but like
that's
it's
why it was
almost
so
like a
perfect
rail,
with Gran Turismo.
Right, it's almost like you're playing a rail shooter where it's just like you're, I don't know. It's so weird, but like this game, it's somewhat limited because they're like you're in that chair and you can't get up. You have to do everything from there, but yeah, you can reach across the room and grab stuff. But it's like the best use of VR, in my opinion. So I beat that. I went and bought the first one. There's a third one, and the third one came out like a couple years ago. I'm guessing there's going to be a fourth one coming. If they ever, you don't have premium. If you ever have a chance, I think at least one of them, maybe all three of them, are on PSVR 2. If you ever get a chance to play them, or honestly, I could just let you borrow my Quest, but it's so much fun. That thing by far has been what I've spent. That's why I haven't really played any of the games on my PlayStation, is I put that stupid thing on like almost every day, and just, even if I don't have anything to do, I'll just like, I could just sit on my couch and watch YouTube TV, or I can put the thing on and watch YouTube TV, but like blow it up so it's this giant thing like I'm in a movie theater, and it's just, I've wasted so much time on that stupid thing, but I absolutely love it. So that's what I've been playing. That's what I've been doing. I've been talking a lot. You talk to the people. My throat hurts.
It's like full on real golf. Oh, he's got a Quest 2. It's real golf, real courses and everything.
Huh.
See, that's the kind of crap that PSVR 2 needs. And if you're going to tell me that it does have it, I'm going to be like, well, shoot. So when it comes to me,
I need to look into that. Golf Plus.
For Christmas, I got
but
a couple of books. I got Go Straight, which is basically the history of beat 'em ups. This thing has like dozens and dozens of beat 'em up games in it. It's awesome. I also got from this guy the oral history of Street Fighter 2, which I saw this on Amazon. I was like, this is awesome.
$30.
And what, on PSVR 2?
No, on Quest. The Golf Plus.
Oh, and it but it's not just an oral history of Street Fighter 2. I haven't started reading it yet, but I flipped through it, and then I looked at the table of contents in the beginning. This thing is like it's the history of every 90s fighting game, and it looks like it's going to be a fun read. Tribreaker. So I did go back to Tribreaker. So I've gotten through 20 levels now. So, last time I was saying you're Dustin's ball bouncing around and you got to I was just too tired at that point. I was like, I can't deal with this. So I got through those stages, and now I'm starting to understand why it is good. And I do need to go back to it. I've just been so freaking busy the last few days. It is what I thought it was. There are different play styles. There's you're going through the maze and all this stuff, but then you get to Frogger levels.
Really?
Where you're Dustin's ball thing, and then there's like T-Rexes show up, and they're part of like the frog, and then you've got to now you can shoot in the ball thing, but you can only shoot up, or you can do a special attack either way you want, like a rocket attack.
Yeah.
And there's all these, you got to pick up things to pick up like 10 dots or something to get a key to unlock the door to go to the next area. Then you get to the end of that area and there's a giant T-Rex, and that's the boss you got to fight. But again, you can only shoot up unless you're doing your special attack, and that you can go left or right with. I died at that boss and I was like, I think I'm good for now. But I do like it better than I did originally. Still, I don't know.
What golf thing is Dad talking about?
I have no idea.
Okay.
But so I definitely like Hybraxia 1 and 2 better. I think I like Super Perils of Baking better. I never got that platinum. Did you get that? I can't remember. Yeah.
I was like the second person behind
that's
Barry,
right.
I think, on the PS4 or whatever.
I think I was way up there for Hybraxia 2. Or we both were for Hybraxia 2, I think.
Yeah.
Can't wait for Hybraxia 0. That, James, I'm going to get review codes for.
New York Golf Club versus the Bay Golf Club, whatever that is.
I don't know.
That's what he's talking about.
I don't know why. No. Even if I wasn't podcasting, I would not be watching that. I love golf. But, okay, so I did also get via stealing it from Sean, Marvel vs. Capcom, the Fighting Collection, Arcade Classics. This is the stupidest name. That is the actual name of this is Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection, Arcade Classics. Why? Why do you need that many words? Marvel vs. Capcom
Arcade
Collection.
Classic doesn't need to be there.
Neither does Fighting Collection.
Well, but
Marvel vs. Capcom Collection. What other Marvel vs. Capcom
I
games
guess
are
that's
there?
true.
So this is the collection of 7 games, and I am glad I'm glad I have this physical. I get everything digital now, but I am glad to have a physical copy of this because this is one of those, like, MVC2 has not been playable on recent systems for a long time because it was only available digitally on the PS3 and 360, I think. I don't know if you could even get it on PS4. So it's one of those things. I'm glad I have a disc that if
So
they
what
ever
was the first one? X-Men versus Street Fighter was the first in that whole series.
So the games included are Punisher, Children of the Atom, Marvel Superheroes.
Children of the Atom. That was just the X-Men fighting game,
Yep.
right?
Marvel Superheroes, X-Men versus Street Fighter.
What is Marvel Superheroes?
Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter, which I really have no memory
Is
of.
Marvel Superheroes like X-Men Children of the Atom, but not just X-Men? Like just a Marvel fighting game?
It's just a Marvel fighting game, but it's only got like 8 characters, I think. It's not that great. That's the one where you do have... One of the things that's cool is you get the Infinity Stones play a part in it. Like when you're going through the single player thing, every couple stages, you can get Infinity Stones as part of the fight. And you can like...
That sounds familiar.
Yeah. And like if the computer gets it, you can kick them and then they drop it and then you get it and you can do a button combination to use it. Like,
yeah.
So that's cool. So the Punisher. So I played through the Punisher and I was telling Sean this game is hilarious. I don't know why they included this here, but it is kind of cool just because it's a beat 'em up that was... It only got a port to the Genesis and that was very scaled back because it's the Genesis. So it wasn't even that much of a port, but it's really good here. The funny thing is, like, it's so... Like, obviously, beat-em-ups are, quote-unquote, violent. But when I think beat-em-ups, I think Ninja Turtles and I think Streets of Rage. Even Streets of Rage, yeah, it's people fighting people, but it's not
just
like
punch,
blood
punch,
and everything.
punch.
Yeah.
And then they disappear.
The Punisher is, like, sometimes, like, it's cool. Like, if enemies get on screen that have guns, he'll pull out his gun, pop, 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 and there's blood. And then this one boss you fight, and once you beat him... Punisher goes up and he picks him up and he's like, "Oh, don't kill me, don't kill me. I'll tell you where my boss is. He's over there on 3rd Street or whatever." And Punisher goes, "Thank you." It just blows him away, blows his head off. I'm like, wow, okay, that's awesome. It was fun. So yeah, X-Men Children of the Atom. Man, I'm not good at this game. I remember loving it. And I do, I started to get the hang, because what you got to remember about these games that I forgot until I fired up Children of the Atom, I forgot how vertical these games are.
Yeah, you can jump like way up that.
Yeah.
Like the crazy air
juggling
combos
and all this stuff, yeah. Berserker Barrage, the first time I heard that, I was like, oh my God, I'm so happy right now. I forgot how annoying Cyclops is that... Well, no, but for his regular beam attack...
Isn't his punch a laser beam or something? Or does he
Yes.
actually punch? Yeah.
I think his hard punch is a
It's
laser
just-
beam.
yeah.
The others are that. But his laser beam, like down to forward attack, if you do hard punch, it's up at an angle. Medium goes straight, and then light punch, I think, is you ducking and you shoot. And I was like, oh, I remember this. And I remember it being annoying, and it's still annoying. But it's super fun. Small cast of characters in that one as well. But I just remember, like... That game is so beautiful. Like, that pixel art... Like, I thought Street Fighter 2 looked awesome. But to go from Super Street Fighter 2 to this the next year... Like, if you just think of it in your head and you just see them moving, like even on the character select screen, there's so many frames of animation. Like, it is such a beautiful game. And then, of course, they ended up using that art style for Street Fighter Alpha series and everything.
Was there ever, other than, like, Injustice and stuff, was there ever a DC fighting game? Like, that was just pixel art?
No. Oh, man.
Like, it seems like there should have been, but...
There was some 16-bit Justice League fighting game, from what I remember.
Like a fighting game? Yeah, not
it's
beat 'em up?
It's tickling something in the back of my brain, but I think. So yeah, Marvel Superheroes, I talked about that. John Tingley.
Hey.
X-Men versus Street Fighter.
The champ is here.
X-Men versus Street Fighter, aside from MVC2, is my favorite. Just the way it plays, cast of characters, MVC is fine. And then I'm like, okay, but I have to, like, everybody's made such a big deal about MVC 2. And as I'm firing it up, I'm like, first off, Jiminy Christmas, there's like 150, like, you think Smash has a lot of characters. This thing has a lot of characters.
Really?
And you pick 3, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Can you do 1-on-1 if you wanted? Or it's all tagged?
It's all 3-on-3. And then I watched, so Maximilian Dude, I remembered he had put out a video like, hey, if you're playing MVC 2 for the first time and you want to know how you're actually supposed to play this game because you can't play it like Street Fighter, here's what you do. And that definitely helped me. But oh my God, I was like, I started to get the hang of it. But the big thing, the weird thing about MVC 2, look at all that.
I don't even know. Dan is in it?
Yeah. It's all about your assist attacks or whatever they call it in this. Getting the people that you're not actively to jump in and help you. And when you pick them on the character select screen, you can either have them be like focused on projectiles or anti-air attacks or whatever. But it's all about getting them to come in at the right time. It's actually kind of button mashy. I don't think it's better than any Street Fighter game.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's better than Street Fighter 1 and probably Street Fighter. You know what I mean? But like the Street Fighter games that I love, I would play them any day over this. I do want to spend a lot more time in it and just try to get used to it. Yeah, that's right.
That's what it is?
No,
or is
that's
this,
not it.
Okay, I was going to say, I think this is like a fan-made thing.
I think that's the one Maximilian Dude did.
Oh, maybe.
Because he remade the last one that everybody hated, Infinite. So he remade that. I don't know what just happened with my voice.
Is that it? Is that the real game one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's so good. It's a lot of fun. I love this collection. I'm glad I have it. I can't wait for you to actually just try it, to get the stupid hat off of your face and try Marvel vs. Capcom. Because it's a lot of fun.
Is this worth doing
a stream?
Yeah.
You gotta go through all the games.
And I don't want to save it till 400.
Spend a little bit of time. No,
we never
just
did
do
it
it on a
450.
random Friday. Yeah, a 450,
350.
Yeah, no. We said we were going to do a stream when this came out, and then neither of us bought it. And we're like, no. But I had no experience with these outside of Children of the Atom. It would be fun. I think it'd be fun to do a stream, but you got to go spend some time with it, get used to it. Yeah. Or we could just do it for fun. Yeah, we could just do it for fun. You'll still probably kick my ass because You're just better at video games than I am. Go get Nick. One of y'all needs to go get Nick. So yeah, that's really it for me. Sean.
Yes.
No news of the week, and I actually didn't think we were going to have anything to talk about. So I was like, let's do a recap of the year. And now here we are, an hour in.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just go through. We're going to do a year in review. I don't know that I'm going to go through all the notes I have, because did you look at all my notes?
No.
It's a lot. But let's see what the year was in 2024. That's not a real sentence.
I mean, it was, but
I'm going to see if the heat is on up here.
the heat is on.
The heat is on. The heat is off. See, it says it's 72 upstairs, but it's
like,
not 72 in here. It's like
65.
Yeah. All right. So January, we started the year. Now, the year went by fast. I thought this was a while ago. I thought this was not last year, but on January 3rd, a 13-year-old named Willis Gibson was the first person to ever, quote unquote, beat NES Tetris when he broke he got the kill screen.
Yeah.
Which we say has never happened before. There's no documentation of it happening before.
It probably has.
I'm sure someone did. Mom probably did, for crying out loud.
On the little handheld thing.
No, she would play it on Nintendo too.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I just remember the hand. I mean, I remember us having it. I don't remember her playing it other than the handheld.
I wonder that handheld thing, how many AA batteries she went through.
Hundreds.
Yes. On the 18th, the first awesome surprise of the year, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown released. Still one of my favorite games of the year. Can't wait to see how high it ranks in our top 10 list, which will be next week. On the 19th, The Last of Us 2 Remastered came out on PS5, and I did not pay the upgrade to get it. At some point, I am going to go back and play it again. So I will just pay the $10 to get it on PS5, and I'll probably just get the Platinum, play it on easy mode and everything. On the 26th, it was a busy day. Both Tekken 8 and Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth released.
Was that it? Was that the one we had?
Yeah, sure looks like it. I don't remember the stuff on the side, though.
Yeah,
There had to have been a million variations of it.
Yeah.
And they didn't call it Tetris. I don't think.
Really?
Because I don't think they would have had the right to the name.
Maybe not.
Oh, and then January, there were a total of 5,000 layoffs. And I was like, I'm going to go through every month and say how many layoffs there were. I stopped doing it because it's just depressing. It's not
Brick
that.
game.
Not she did not have brick game. But in January, Unity laid off 1,800 people.
That's crazy.
Twitch 500, Discord 170, Riot Games 530, Microsoft 1,900. Mike Ibarra also left as the president of Blizzard, and Eidos Montreal laid off around 100. 5,000 total people lost their jobs.
Just in January?
Yep. I think for the year it was like 15,000 or something. It was the worst year ever. But I do want, like, I'm like, okay, oh, these people are losing their jobs, but like, are they? I want to know how many people lost their jobs
Versus just took a new job.
and don't have
Let go from Microsoft, but ended up at
right.
Ubisoft
Like, what
or
is
something.
what is the net? I wonder.
Right.
And I'm not saying it's not bad or anything. I wonder what the net is.
Yeah.
February 2nd, Apple released the Vision Pro for $3,500, and now they've basically stopped production.
Yeah, they said people aren't buying this. Nobody's going to buy that thing until it's maybe like 1,000.
Even then, I don't know.
I feel like it's like the the iPhone, not even the iPhone. It's like the iPad in the beginning. It was like, what are you really going to do with this thing? And now iPads are just like
I just
everybody
live
has
on this
like
thing now, yeah.
we have like 4 in our house. We have one for every person. You guys probably do too. Like,
Well, no, because the big kids have their phones now, so they don't.
well, that's true.
Yeah.
But like, there's just not enough. It's it's like the weird chicken and the egg thing where not enough people have it, so nobody's really doing much with it. But if nobody's going to do anything with it, nobody's going to want it, and it's just
it's a cycle, yeah.
yeah.
Also on February 2nd, Persona 3 Reload came out, and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Oh my God. The funniest thing. Let me see if I can say it. Because Chris and Colin were talking about this a couple podcasts ago, and Chris said the funniest thing I've ever heard because of, like, you know, words you can't say and stuff like that. So he called it Self Forever Sleep Squad Unalive the Justice League. I think that's what it was. Self Forever Sleep Squad Unalive the Justice League. And Colin was like, holy shit, that's the best thing I've ever heard in my life. That's awesome. On the 6th, Foam Stars released. That was this year. Well, you know what I mean. That was 24.
Well, yeah.
February 7th, Disney announces they're investing $1.5 billion into Epic Games. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, me too.
And then on the 8th, Helldivers 2 releases and takes over the gaming world. Koji Kondo gets inducted in the AIAS Hall of Fame, as he should be. I don't know what the AIAS Hall of Fame is, but
But it should be
he's
there.
one of the best. It's like him and Yuzo Koshiro are the soundtrack to our childhoods. Childhoods? Yeah, childhoods.
Child's hood.
Childhoods doesn't sound right.
Childrenhood.
Children of the Hood. And then Xbox broke the internet and fanboys everywhere by saying officially that Pentiment, Sea of Thieves, Grounded, and Hi-Fi Rush are coming to PlayStation.
But have any of them?
They all did.
Really?
Yeah. They all
I
came
know
out in
Sea of
March and
Thieves
April.
did. I was excited for Ground. Maybe I just assumed these would be PS Plus games, and they never were, so I never played
Oh,
them. But
yeah.
like, I want to play Grounded. I want to play Hi-Fi Rush.
I do want to try out Hi-Fi Rush, I think. Then on the 16th, finally, after it was first revealed in 2017, Skull and Bones actually comes out. As Sean tries to have something happen without making a noise. Balatro also came out. February was a crazy month. Balatro came out on the 20th. Some people's game of the year. Not for me, but whatever. Toys for Bob left Activision to become independent again on the 28th. And then on Leap Day, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth releases. Later in the year, it gets no awards.
That's
Recency
travesty.
bias. It's just recency bias. That's all it is. It's ridiculous.
It won something, right?
I think it won something, but it didn't even
Soundtrack.
win sound.
Oh, no, it didn't win soundtrack.
No, it did, because I got that right. You got it wrong. That's all that it won.
Okay.
It didn't win narrative.
That's what I was
Metaphor
thinking.
did. I was
Yeah,
like, where are you freaking... March 1st, Akira Toriyama passes away. If you don't know, he was the creator of Dragon Ball, and he was the character designer for Dragon Quest and Chrono Trigger. Embracer sold off Saber Interactive for $250 million to a private equity firm on March 14th. On the 21st, Final Fantasy XIV finally came to Xbox, and Horizon Forbidden West isn't a word, comes to PC. Yeah, I say it about Xbox. I got to say it about PlayStation 2. Fanboy's not happy. Why? It's an old game. Who cares?
Yeah, I don't understand.
On the 22nd, Dragon's Dogma 2 releases, as well as Princess Peach Showtime and Rise of the Ronin. Not a great day to release Rise of the Ronin, I would say. Dragon's Dogma 2 seemed like it was going to be awesome. I guess it was kind of awesome, and then it just nobody talks about it. Like, I don't know if it's getting I don't know what's going on with it. And on the 28th of March, the Atari 400 Mini released.
I forgot about that.
I had no memory of that at all. April, kind of a slow month. On April 9th, it finally happened. Nintendo shut down online services for the 3DS and Wii U, officially killing those machines. It's very sad. My 3DS right now, it's just a Link Between Worlds machine.
Pretty
I
much.
have to have a working 3DS for the rest of my life until they finally port that game. On the 10th, the Fallout show released on Amazon Prime, and it was actually awesome, apparently. I still need to watch that. I do want to watch it. I will watch it. On April 23rd, Tales of Kinzera Zao released. People said it was woke because it has black people in it. And all you're doing is telling people that you're racist, if that's what you're saying. And then Stellar Blade, Eve got her boobies out on April 26th. Sold 1 million copies. People were horny. May 7th, Microsoft. Not a great year for Microsoft, I must have to say. As I'm going through this, I'm like, man, you went third party. You laid off 2,000 people. May 7th, they shut down Arcane Austin and Alpha Dog Games. They announced that Roundhouse Studios is merging into ZeniMax Online. They also announced, I believe, that Tango Gameworks then also was being shut down. Of course, that was later revived, so that's good. Microsoft, not a great year. May 9th, Animal Well released. One of the coolest games I've ever played. Not going to be my game of the year, but just the idea of a Metroidvania like that.
That game was very memorable.
Yes.
Like,
I've literally never played a game like it.
yeah.
Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut comes to PC. Fanboys get mad. Hellblade 2 releases May 21st, and it is a game where really all you do is you hold forward on the D-pad. Or on the analog stick. May 23rd, I forgot that this was this year also, Atari acquires Intellivision.
And
Where's
nothing
Earthworm
happened.
Jim 3? What the hell? We're never going to get that game because the Intellivision, the Amico Intellivision, whatever it's called, is never going to come out.
I forgot about that.
We're not going to get Earthworm Jim 3. June, Summer Game Fest. Take-Two finishes their acquisition of Gearbox for $460 million. Microsoft officially shuts down Tango Gameworks on the 14th. And then on the 21st, Shadow the Erdtree releases, and people complain for the rest of the year if it's a game or it's not a game. July 19th, my most played game of the year comes out. College football finally returns. College football 25. We'll talk about sales numbers here in the wrap-up. It's one of the most successful games of all time. Blizzard employees form one of the first unions on the 24th. On the 26th, SAG-AFTRA voice actors stroked over their concerns about AI and what it means for the industry. And I can't blame them. They end up getting it worked out. Everything's fine now. July 30th, Mario and Sonic, the Olympic series, has been discontinued by the International Olympic Committee after 17 years. Me editorializing, it's once the IOC realize the games all suck.
I don't think it ever really occurred to me that the IOC had anything to do with
It has to be licensed
I
from
I
them,
guess, but it's so weird.
August 2nd. This sucks. GameStop kills Game Informer. 33 years of publication down the toilet. I hate this because this is one of those things. I'm pretty sure I probably said it on here before, but like whenever I would fly somewhere,
Yeah.
I would just go to the Hudson News or whatever. I was like, just let me Game Pro, Game something, whatever. Game Informer. Yep. Okay. I'm going to read this on the flight. It was like my thing. And now I can literally never do that again.
Whatever happened with that EGM compendium thing?
It's coming out. It might be next month. I can't remember. They've been doing a bunch of updates for it. Maybe it's April. I can't remember, but it's in the next couple of months. It's coming out.
Okay.
And you'll get your copy.
Yeah.
August 7th. Meta shuts down Ready at Dawn Studios, which sucks. The Order 1886. If you ever want to,
I was trying to figure out what they were.
If you want not a cheap platinum. I mean, I've got the game. You can just have it. You can just go get the platinum. It's like a 10-hour platinum, and it's still. That game came out in 20. PS4 was 2013. I think that was 2015, but I'm not 100% sure. I can't remember when it finally came out. It is still better looking than some PS5 games. It is one of the prettiest games I've ever seen. The problem was that's pretty much all it was a tech demo.
Yeah.
The Borderlands movie came out this year. I forgot about that.
I forgot about that.
August 9th. Horribly bombs. Like a budget of $100 million, and it made like $5 million at the box office or something horrible. Crafton revives Tango Gameworks, which is awesome. Black Myth Wukong comes out on August 20th, and it breaks all kinds of sales records and Steam concurrence and all this stuff. Gamescom was held in Cologne. I don't remember anything really coming out of Gamescom this year, except that's when Kojima had the Death Stranding panel when they showed the weird photo mode and people were like dancing. There was like a K-pop band dancing and stuff.
Yeah.
Or J-pop, I don't know. August 23rd, PlayStation releases Concord. On the 27th, Castlevania The Dominus Collection releases. Star Wars Outlaws comes out on the 30th. September 3rd, barely a week later, Concord is taken offline.
That's crazy.
On the 6th, it is delisted. The same day that Astrobot comes out. Game of the Year at the Game Awards.
But it wasn't like... It was just a bad game, right? It wasn't like... What was the big...
You got to give me more than...
Cyberpunk. It's not like it was just a game that just didn't work. It worked fine. It just sucked.
It ran great. It wasn't broken at all.
It was just a terrible game.
Yeah.
That's so weird. Like, how do you make a game that bad?
And invest $400 million into it.
Like, I wonder if I played it.
Well, what a lot of people said
would I think it was just as bad? Like, I already don't like first-person shooters, so would I be like, I don't know, it seems fine to me? Or would I be like, oh, this is awful?
A lot of people were saying that the...
I feel like it's the diehards that probably hate... Like, the diehard first-person shooter gamers probably hated it. Somebody like me, I'd probably be like, I don't know, it seems fine.
A lot of people hated it for the character designs, which I think I can only think of like one or two.
I remember the big dude or something.
Yeah, it was just like blah. They just it looked like Sony was like, hey, let's do Guardians of the Galaxy, but turn it into a hero shooter.
Yeah,
and the gameplay wasn't that great either. Some people like it wasn't balanced well. Like I don't know. The Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics released in September 12th. Final Fantasy 16 finally comes to PC. Jedi Survivor, for some reason, Concord was a decent game with crap character design. There you go.
Okay.
Jedi Survivor on September 17th releases on last gen for some reason, a year and a half after it came out on current gen. Why? All the issues that I had with that on my PS5, I would love to see what that runs like on PS4.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not gonna
I didn't have
find
any
out.
issues with it.
No, I know.
But, yeah.
Nintendo finally sues Pal World developer Pocket Pair on September 18th. They don't sue them over their designs, though. They sue them over gameplay mechanics, which is just hilarious to me. God of War Ragnarok, I don't know what happened, hits PC on the 19th. Echoes of Wisdom. I never thought a Zelda game would come out after Skyward Sword, where I was just like, I don't want to play this. But it happened. And people that have played it really like it.
That's the thing. I'm trying to figure out, like, yeah, it seems to be universally praised. But I wonder if that's just because only those people bought it, and people like you and me that know we wouldn't like it just didn't buy it, so therefore we never had a chance to say it sucked. Like, or was it actually just good? I can't imagine it's good. It doesn't seem fun to me.
You can make a Zelda game, but just don't have her have to like make beds and stuff to fight and like clone a Octorok to fight somebody. Give her a freaking sword.
You make that game. Don't go overboard with the like. Oh, I can just put a bed on a bed on a bed on a bed on a bed, so I can get up that cliff. Like, keep that mechanic, but maybe you only get like a ladder, stairs, like a handful of traversal items, and other than that, you can fight. You have a wand, and
you know what
shoot
that's
beams.
called? Tears of the Kingdom.
Well, yeah, but
which is what? No, what I'm saying is you're right. They should just
still
made
be able
this
to like
2D
spawn
Tears of the
them.
Kingdom.
Just not like every. I don't know. You shouldn't be able to just spawn every item you ever see. There should be a handful in the game, but you can still fight with like a beam, like pew pew pew, like. And then I think I would have been all about it at that point.
John says Zelda was better than I thought it would be.
I don't know. I just don't see it. But I mean, you're not alone, John. Everybody seems to think that, but I can't. In my head, I can't get there.
Yeah. September 30th, Starfield's DLC Shattered Space releases, and apparently it sucked. I don't know how you spend all these years on Starfield, and it's just like, eh. On October 2nd, the Nintendo Museum opens in Kyoto, and I have even more reason to go to Japan now. I can't wait. At some point, I'll get there. Silent Hill 2 Remake releases on October 8th, and to everyone's surprise, it's actually good. Good job, Blooper Team. On the 11th, Metaphor ReFantazio releases, and everybody loses their mind because they forget that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth also came out this year. Black Ops...
Is this a game... Metaphor?
It's Persona without being called Persona.
Right, but like, did we know that was coming?
Yeah, they've been talking about it. It had been
like, I feel like I just never
years.
heard of it.
We just
and then
didn't
all of a
care
sudden it came out because you and I don't care about it.
Well, but in State of Play, it's like here's 5 anime games in a row, and we're like,
oh yeah, maybe that's it.
Black Ops 6 releases on October 25th. James talked him into it. James, did you even play it? Let me know. Black Ops 6 releases on the 25th. And launches into Game Pass. Interesting. We'll see what it means in the long term. I still want to play it. Maybe I'll play that this week so I know if it gets in my top 10 or not. Everybody said the campaign is like the best since Black Ops 1 or 2. Like, so that would be 14 years.
Wow.
It's supposed to be awesome. October 30th, Nintendo surprises everybody by releasing the Nintendo Music app on iOS and Android. It's not that great. That like every week they add one game. I'm like, what are we doing?
It's like Switch Online all over again.
October 31st, Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered. The remake we never knew we needed because we didn't. Releases on PC and PS5. I like it better than Forbidden West. I'm not going to go. I guess I could get the Platinum again if I upgrade to that at some point.
But I mean, is it literally just a remaster? Like, is it basically Horizon but a PS5 patch?
Basically, yeah. It's like I think it's another $10 upgrade, so it's not horrible if you already own Horizon Zero Dawn.
No.
But November 6th, Take-Two sells off Private Division. On the 7th, the PS5 Pro releases. Death Stranding, also this day. Death Stranding Director's Cut just shadow drops on Xbox. Also, Mario and Luigi Brothership comes out. Kevin likes it. Sean didn't.
I didn't not
like it.
I thought it was okay.
Microsoft, again, keeping the hits going this year. I played most of it. I think I have one dungeon left. Okay. Microsoft keeping their winning streak going. On November 13th, Phil Spencer completely reverses course, something he never, ever, 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 ever does, and states that there are no longer any red lines going forward with any exclusive games. Basically, he's telling you every Xbox game is going to come to PlayStation at some point. The Atari 7800 Plus releases on November 29th, and Sony announced that same day the closure of Firewalk Studios. That's the last Concord update we will have as part of this. December 9th, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle releases. Again, to everybody's shock, it's really good. I'm to the point now where I'm like, I think I'm going to buy it.
I'm
in like April or whatever it is. Apparently, indie does translate to first person, so I think I'm in. December 12th, the Game Awards are held. Jeff Keighley's second birthday party of the year. And Astrobot wins Game of the Year and wins 4 or 5 wins 4 or 5 awards, I think it was. I love that game. It should be Game of the Year. I don't think so, but yeah. December 19th, Sony forms their strategic business alliance with Katakawa, becoming the largest shareholder, which means they're the largest shareholder in the parent company of From Software, which owns Elden Ring and blah, 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 blah. And then December 20th, Sonic 3 releases. Sonic 4 has already been greenlit. Jim Carrey's like, well, I guess I would come back for a 4th, which means pay me my money.
Did you see it?
Not yet. I wanted to take Casey, but we just lost track
I
of
just
time.
looked up the post-credits scene. They keep doing it.
Who else is there?
I mean, I don't want to spoil it, but it's like
I don't
what
know
they did with Sonic 1, and then they did with Sonic 2, and then they did with Sonic 3. They're doing again for Sonic 4. It's just like, here comes so-and-so. Oh, here comes so-and-so. Here, it's
Santa Claus? Who else is there? I don't care if you spoil it for me. Oh, they might care, so we'll just say it after. But I'm going to take Casey this weekend, I think. And I think Nick said he wants to go see it too. That's it for our 2024 wrap-up. Sean, now it's time for the wrap-up for the podcast. Switch 2 leaks. We got a lot more of them over these past couple weeks while we were gone. The dock leaked. It's more powerful. It's going to now take a 60-watt charger, so your old charger won't work. People are speculating that it might still work to at least charge your Switch 2, but it won't be enough power to send it to the TV.
But like, what does a more powerful dock mean?
The DLSS. What a lot of people think is going to be that the dock isn't just a charging thing and an HDMI pass-through. It's going to be that, but it's also going to have some kind of guts in there so that when you send it to your TV, it's using
better than
AI upscaling. Yeah. Huh. The Joy-Cons leaked from a Chinese factory showing the magnetic connection. Also, people are freaking out because it looks like there's an optical sensor, so you'll be able to use the Joy-Con as a mouse.
Okay. I kind of dig the magnetic connection. But I thought on one of these things I saw there's still little release buttons, which makes it sound like it's still on a track. But everything I hear about, that's magnetic. There shouldn't be a release button if it's magnetic. You should just pull.
I don't think they want you to just pull. I think the release button turns off the electricity for the magnet or whatever it does. Like it powers down the magnet and then you can take it off. I think.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be holding it and then you're like, son of a bitch! Oh no! And then your Switch just drops. The screen shatters. Joy-Cons also are reported to remove stick drift this time via magnetic Hall effect joysticks.
Whatever that means.
I had never heard of Hall effect until somebody was talking about it. It was some aftermarket controller I was looking for. It was probably one of the 8-bit controllers, actually. But Hall effect joysticks, I forget what they mean now because it's been way too long since I looked it up. But it's good. So if that's true, that's good. Normally we would do this as its own news item, but not on this episode. So some highlights from NPD and Circana for November. Black Ops keeps the #1 spot. Brothership debuts at number 7. Year to date, though, EA Sports College Football 25 is still number 1. Black Ops 6 is number 2. Helldivers 2 falls to 3. College Football 25 is now the best-selling sports video game in U.S. history in terms of dollars sold.
Wow.
And it's now in the top 50 games of all time selling in the U.S. in dollars sold. Now, I don't know how long this has been around. This does not count Mario World and Sonic. And you know what I mean? They weren't tracking this. The NPD didn't exist back then. I forget when it started.
Yeah.
But still, over the last 25 years or something, it's one of the 50 best-selling games in the U.S. It's pretty sweet. The Switch, when it comes to U.S. sales, has now passed the PS2 with 46.6 million sold. So in terms of console sales in the U.S. or video game system sales, if you want to call a console a handheld, if you want to call a handheld a console or not, it's only behind the DS now. Pretty crazy.
But that's in the U.S.?
In the U.S. alone.
I thought the DS didn't sell that well in the U.S. I thought that was all Japan.
Well, yeah, but it sold 175 million somethings.
Units.
But I don't. It was a lot.
Seems weird.
It was more popular in Japan, yeah. But, yeah.
It's just weird that the DS is number 1 in the U.S. But
PS5 for November was number 1 in dollars and units sold. Switch was number 2 in both. Xbox, they're third party now, so they don't sell consoles. Resident Evil 4 Remake has hit 9 million copies sold in less than 10 years. That means it is, quote, by far the fastest selling Resident Evil game ever. And it's also now one of Capcom's top 10 best selling games of all time.
I'm always blown away by the lack of Resident Evil sales. Like, awesome. Resident Evil 4, fantastic game. Good for them. But, like, the fact that 9 million over 2 years is by far the best-selling game ever. Like, I mean, Resident Evil game. I feel like Resident Evil games, I feel like even the bad ones should be selling 10 million.
Fastest selling.
Okay, but it just seems like Resident Evil 5 that, like, nobody liked. Well, even 6, although 6 sold well. It's just, I don't know. It seems very strange. I feel like the worst Resident Evil should sell 10 million in 2 years. Not 9 million being by far the best over 2 years. But I don't know.
Last of Us Season 2 is coming in April. I cannot believe they're doing it. They're obviously doing it. They show Abby walking through the hospital. Like, they show, like, they're I don't know how they're going to do it, but they're going to do it. Notch says, and I had forgotten who this person was, and then I was like, oh yeah, he made Minecraft and he sold it for $11 billion to Microsoft. He has said on Twitter that he's working on the spiritual successor to Minecraft. He's saying he's basically, quote unquote, announced Minecraft 2. He's basically he's like, yeah, I sold Minecraft to y'all. I can still
but here
make
comes
my own
Minecraft
thing. Yeah, I'm going to make a better Minecraft now. Elden Ring Night Rain will not allow users to leave messages as previous From Software games have, but that's because the devs don't think that the players are going to have time for it. And I guess that makes sense when it's a 3-day cycle and the map's closing in. Like, I'm not going to go, like, try to figure out if this jackass is telling me to walk through this door because there's, like, a cool treasure or because some ogre is going to fall down on me and kill me. Sega officially said they're not doing any more mini consoles. So if you were holding out hope for a Saturn or a Dreamcast Mini, it's not happening. For some reason, we're getting not only a Horizon movie, which didn't we already know this? Oh no, it was going to be a show before
on Prime or something.
I think it was going to be a show. Now it's a movie.
But so are we not getting the series anymore?
I don't think so. Oh, we probably are, and probably an anime too. Helldivers is getting a movie.
I can see that.
Yeah, but it's Starship Troopers. We've already done that.
Yeah, we already have a George.
Ghost of Tsushima is getting an anime, but I don't think that's coming out till 27, I believe it is. Oh, Castlevania Nocturne should be out soon. You gotta watch it. Have you watched the Batman yet? I mean, the Penguin. You need to watch it. It's really good. It's really good. Xbox reportedly, again, great year for Xbox. They turned down for a secret level a Doom Halo crossover. Why you wouldn't want Doomslayer and Halo, I was going to say Halo guy, Master Chief to have a secret level episode, I don't understand.
Have you watched?
No.
Have you watched Secret Level?
No. Okay. It's supposed to be good.
It sounds interesting, but yeah. These are all like, it's like anthology, right? None of them have anything to do with the other ones.
No, it's
just like, here's a little Mega Man
based
story.
on 10
here's a little
video games. Yeah.
Okay.
Stellar Blade Studio Shift Up. They gave all their employees a PS5 Pro and over $3,000 in bonuses. I guess the booby game did quite well.
Yeah.
Sonic 4, as I said earlier, it is set to release in theaters in 2027. We're going to get 7 Sonic movies before we get Mario 2.
We might.
Where's Mario 2? Stardew Valley has hit 40 million copies sold. I want to try it at some point, but I probably won't. Actually, I think it's on Apple Arcade. I should play it. And finally, PS Plus Essential Games were announced for January. They are Self Forever Sleep Squad, Unalive, The Justice League, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. I think that's what it was. I couldn't zoom in close enough on my screenshot. And the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe Edition.
Now, remind me what that is. Because when I saw that, I was like, ooh.
It's supposed to be
I'm not
really
sure what
good.
it is.
I have no idea. It's a puzzle game, I think.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be awesome, but I have not played it. Or a strategy game or something. I can't remember.
Oh, Stanley Parable. Isn't that... What was that show? Not Severed. Severance. Isn't it kind of like... Aren't those linked somehow?
Severance?
On like Apple Arcade, Apple Plus, whatever it's
Succession?
called, Apple TV. No, the one with Adam Scott, where he like goes to work,
He gets a severance.
then he gets fired and he gets a severance. No, I think I watched one or two episodes. It's some kind of weird brain chip thing where like when you go to work and then you leave,
you don't leave.
Something like they make you forget that you ever went to work or something, and I can't remember what the premise is, but I think it's kind of related to that, maybe. I think I heard about this game because of Severance.
Interesting.
But I don't know what that game actually is. But
it's supposed to be really good, but that's all I know. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for episode 373 of the Two Player Co-op Podcast. Thank you all so much for being here. We will be back next week with our top 10 games of 2024. But until that time, Sean, go ahead and take us out.
Thank you for playing.